What was Colby Covington thinking? He got dominated from pillar to post. But before I get into that, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. I'm incredibly shocked with Colby's performance. By the time he looked himself, it was too late to do anything about it. And it's such a shame as we've waited for this fight for almost a year and a whole division was put on hold. But let's talk about the actual fight. Colby came out as usual to his Kurt Angle theme, which really does suit him, and Trump was there to show his support. It was funny, Leon Edwards compared it to Boris Johnson or Rishi Sunak coming out for him. In the very first round, Leon held the centre of the octagon. He cut off Colby from circling around. And throughout the whole fight, Colby seemed very hesitant, very cautious. He seemed afraid of the KO threat. And Leon was just chopping away at that leg, busted open Colby's face, put him in some difficult positions, threatened some submission threats. And Colby had literally nothing for him. I just couldn't see what Colby's game plan was. And it really felt like he didn't have one at all. And now, surely Colby knows that he'll never get a title shot again. And unfortunately, Colby will go down as the guy who lost to Usman twice. And that's his entire legacy. But let's talk about the rest of the main card. We opened up with Bryce Mitchell versus Josh Emmett. Bryce came in as a short notice replacement. And that's exactly what this fight was. Short. Emmett dropped and KO'd Bryce within the first round, and it was genuinely really scary. Bryce fell to the ground like a sack of potatoes, and then he started to seizure. When things like that happen, it really makes you remember how dangerous this sport really is, and I hope for a speedy recovery for him. And it's such a shame because with Josh Emmett, we know what he plans to do. He's looking for that big right overarm. It's all he does on loop over and over again, and Bryce got caught by it. And I do not think Bryce is going to be able to hang with these top 5 guys. I think he's going to be a mid to bottom range fighter for the rest of his career now. Then we move on to Paddy versus Tony. Paddy came out in his best Sean O'Malley cosplay. It was really strange to see him without his shaggy hair. So in the first round, Tony did pretty well at the start, but that soon began to unravel. He kept getting caught by Paddy on the counter, lost all of the exchanges on the feet, and every single grappling exchange. I thought Paddy was going to get Tony out in the first because he dropped him and he started wailing on him and he emptied the tank, which gassed Paddy out. And I worry now for Paddy though, if he's going to continue forward and maybe start main eventing some of these cards, especially fight nights, is he going to be able to handle 5 rounds? If he is going to be doing that, he's going to have to really work on this cardio management. Tony had a few moments of success, and that's exactly what it was, just moments. He even threatened a gilly, but Paddy popped his head right out and managed to get a unanimous decision. It's such a shame, as I knew the second that this fight was booked, it'd be a pure domination and a total mismatch. Tony just isn't what he used to be. We also got a bonus fight. Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis got into a fight cage side. We didn't get to see too much, but we saw Strickland jump over the fence, but du Plessis seemed to get him down. So I'm going to say a 10-9 round for du Plessis. I'm not sure why the UFC would sit them so close together. It's really stupid, but it has built a lot of hype for UFC 297. But let's get back to the main card. We have Shavkat versus Wonderboy. Shavkat got a second round submission in the last few seconds, but surprisingly, Wonderboy did a lot better than I expected. He caught Shavkat when he was coming in, he got some big body kicks, and he was really giving Shavkat a lot of problems on the feet. Shavkat kept getting body locks in and pushing him up against the fence, but he couldn't manage to get Wonderboy down for most of the fight. Wonderboy's takedown defense was excellent in this fight. It was really good until it wasn't. And then when Shavkat got him down, he just submitted him, tapped him out. There's only 10 seconds left of the second round, and it's such a shame because obviously I didn't expect Wonderboy to win, but you've got to root for him, right? He's such a nice guy. And the problem is now though, what I see for Shavkat, I don't want to knock him, and obviously he's a total monster. He's had 18 fights now with 18 finishes, but I worry when he steps up in competition and it's going to be a big jump now. I'm not sure how well he's going to do, but we'll have to wait and see, and fingers crossed he does do well. Then in the co-main we have Pantoja versus Royval. It wasn't the fast-paced, exciting fight I hoped it would be. Pantoja throughout seemed to have answers for everything Royval threw at him. The skill difference was just so clear. Though, to be fair to Royval, he did have a lot of success on the feet, but Pantoja just kept taking it to the ground whenever he was getting any sort of success. Though in the 5th, Pantoja looked exhausted and Royval was really piecing him up. But again, Pantoja just took him down and dominated him and held him there in place. It's such a shame because I was expecting a lot for this fight. I think with this division, you need these fast-paced, quick fights because unfortunately, it seems to be a bit of a dying division. It just seems to be rematches after rematches. So if we're going to keep getting rematches, these fights have to be the best, or otherwise we need brand new contenders. But overall, I was a little bit disappointed with UFC 296. It's the final card of the year, and I was hoping for something much bigger. Though 2024 has some amazing fights, and I cannot wait. Thank you for watching. If you can like, comment and subscribe, it really does help us out.